Thank you to Tokyo Treats and Sakurako for sponsoring this video. More on them a little later. Welcome everybody to another video. Today, out of fun, I want to highlight to you guys, I want to make a list of my top 10 picks for best Genshin Impact abilities. Now, these are not burst skills, but elemental skills. We're just focusing on elemental skills. Pause the video right now if you think you can guess the top 3, my top 3. And while you're down there, leave your top 3 or top 5, or if you want, leave your entire top 10 if you want to get into details. Be my guest. All right, I'm going to try to cover a little bit on each of them and giving reasons as to why I think they deserve the position, as well as maybe a few honorable mentions towards the end. Now, this might turn into a long-ish video, so let's just not diddle-daddle and get straight into it. At number 10, I have Ito. So I don't know if this is some sort of weird bias I have. I just think Ito's elemental skill is incredibly powerful. It's pretty crucial to his kit, and the multipliers on that thing is just absurd. That cow somehow can output more damage on its initial impact than some characters' entire burst ability. So you know what? I'm just gonna leave it at that. It's a powerful ability. It actually fits his characteristics extremely well. It's tied into his kit in a way that is creative and offers more than just raw damage while still offering a ton of damage. So that's gonna be that. Number 10. Number 9 is going to be our new boy Scaramouche. Now, it'll be quite the injustice to not include Scaramouche in this video somewhere because he has an ability that quite literally transforms his entire playstyle and kit. Now, you guys might argue, well, there are other characters in the game that does that, right? But I feel like Scaramouche's elemental skill does that to the extreme and actually elevates him to a completely different kind of character. It's nice, it's unique, and it offers a lot of flair into the game. Now, you guys might want to go, oh, but Nilou's, elemental skill does something similar, but Nilou is too forced. All right, this character is too forced. Don't worry, Nilou's not on a list. You can cross Nilou off the list. I don't think her elemental skill is one of the best in the game because it's too restrictive. All right. Now, moving on from Scaramouche, it's going to be Shinhe. Now, you guys wonder, well, Walrus, is this only 5 stars? You're not going to put some 4 stars on here? Well, I might relax. You guys will see. Shinhe's elemental skill is one of the most powerful buffing abilities in the game. Oh, by the way, I'm talking about these characters at their most optimal constellations, not just C0's optimal constellations, right? So, Shinhe's elemental skill, probably one of, if not the single best amplifiers in the game for cryo carries. Now, putting her above Scaramouche and Ito most likely is because of her usage. It's just you can use this ability more. It's just a more all-purpose ability, and it has insane multipliers and flexibility in usage because it's all cryo damage, all sorts of cryo damage. It can be applied when she's off field, she applies it, she's off, and even when the character's abilities are mid-casting. So let's say you use Ganyu's burst and the stacks run out, you switch to Shinhe, you use her elemental skill, stacks are back, right? So incredibly powerful and flexible buffer. Very good. I rank her at number 8. Now, moving into number 7, you guys are like, Walrus, the 4 stars, the 4 stars. Of course, I did not forget Beidou. Beidou's elemental skill, I think, needs no introduction. I think some of you guys might have even her at top 5. I mean, casting invincibility, counterattacks, it's just insane. Beidou's probably the only character in the game when played fully optimally can just kill everything by herself, while she herself sits on 1 HP. I remember coming across a video with a Beidou at 1 HP and beating Raiden Shogun. I mean, yeah, if you want to be completely built different, any character at 1 HP should be able to beat any content in the game as long as you don't get hit. But Beidou can offer offense and defense at the same time. So that's just chef's kiss, right? Great character, most unique elemental skill in the game that offers you both defense, offense, so you get the best of both worlds. That's Beidou, and yeah, she's number 7. I can't rank her any higher because it just takes too much skill. All right, let's be honest here. While it's a cool ability, it takes too much skill. So that's why it's sitting here at number 7. Not everybody's going to be able to pull it off, especially for you guys playing on like 120 ping. You're going to mess it up and you're going to have to restart your run. And it's not something really that benefits your gameplay. It's just cool to have this. And yeah, if you want to build her, stack her up, make her the strong character that she actually is, sure, you can do that. But for the most part, she kind of gets forgotten about on most people's account. Okay, at number 6, when it comes to elemental skill, we have to talk about Albedo. This boy, this man, this alchemist, his elemental skill is just superb. What can I say? It is probably the most basic. Yeah, I think it is the most basic out of everybody you were mentioning. It really just lays down this giant ass geofield, and as long as somebody's in the field, doing some sort of damage to the enemy. He basically accompanies them and deals some geo damage. That's it, right? And his elemental skill, as you get constellations for him, scales up quite nicely, can do very good damage, and combined with Zhongli on the team, let's say, you're going to be able to get some geo constructs dealing additional damage and also get geo resonance. It's just lots of stats, lots of help for very, very little investment. This character has great free-to-play weapons that utilizes the fact that he's not on field to dish out even more damage. Amazing character with an amazing elemental skill. Unfortunate that Crystallize is so weak. If Crystallize was just a little bit stronger, I bet we can see a lot of Albedo Zhongli double geo resonance teams just double stacking, stat boosting a bunch of carries, but that's not the case, right? Crystallize is just not that strong, so for the most part, he's kind of an afterthought when most people construct their teams, but strong elemental skill. All right, moving on to number 5, his partner in crime, my man Zhongli. Okay, let me tell you guys something about Zhongli. A lot of people would say he's overrated, and in a way, I do think shielding is, like, in most cases, not needed. There are few characters in the game that absolutely need shielding. There's few other characters in the game that would really prefer shielding, and then there are a few characters in the game that could have it, could not have it, and then there are characters that don't really want it, and then there are characters that are like, stay the fuck away from me, Zhongli. I don't need your shield. But for the most part, if you're a lazy gamer, or if you're somebody who's more casual, having a Zhongli in your rosters, just his shield does so much, right? The best shield in the game when it comes to shield strength, all resistances boosted. It's effective against all types of attack, as well as it provides anti-staggering. If you watch my last video, anti-staggering, incredibly important, arguably even more important than the fact that the shield exists. If somebody can just give my character anti-interruptions, I won't even need the shield. I would trade the shield for a buff instead. Let's say if you can do something to my character that raises their resistances to interruption and buffs their damage, that's like perfect. That's the perfect character. I don't need the shield. I could live without the shield, but I need that anti-interruption. Right? So Zhongli doesn't do that. He gives you a shield and anti-interruptions through the shield, as well as all resistance shred. Now, I wouldn't be able to rank his elemental skill this high if it wasn't for that all resistance shred. So there you have it. That's my number 5th pick, which is Zhongli's elemental skill. Now, I bet you guys are a little overwhelmed, right? You're like, oh, Walrus, you're going too fast, man. You're going too fast. Slow down. Oh, don't worry. We can relax a little bit. Let's take an intermission break and talk about the sponsor for this video, Tokyo Treats. This month's Tokyo Treat Box, you are likely to be able to guess, has a theme. And yes, it's Christmas. Merry Christmas, everyone. Now, upon opening the box, you will be treated to a booklet which contains more details to every single snack that is within this box. So for myself, I really enjoyed the salmon cream stew pasta. Oh my goodness, this thing was so damn delicious. Now, as you may know, so far in the 4th month that I've received the Tokyo Treat Box, they always came with a variation of Kit Kat flavors. So for the sake of variety, I will not be reacting to the Kit Kat snack this time, but I've done so every time before this. They're good. It's Kit Kat, right? It's flavored Kit Kat. It's amazing. And some would argue that it's going to be the highlight of every month's box, and I would agree with them, right? Unlike the Sakurako box, which I've previewed for you guys before, which focuses on more traditional Japanese snacks, the Tokyo Treat Box is a snack box that delivers the modern day Japan snacking experience right to your doorsteps. So for this Christmas season, treat yourself to a piece of Japan using my codes down in the description and in the pinned comment, and get yourself a discount for your purchases of both the Tokyo Treat Box as well as the Sakurako box. Again, thank you so much to Tokyo Treat and Sakurako for sponsoring this video, and I wish everyone happy holidays. So now we are moving into the top 4. I urge you guys, try and guess who's the number 4 when it comes to elemental skill I have on here. Just try and guess. I'll give you guys 5 seconds. 4, 3, 2, 1, and Fischl. Fischl, I mean, there is a reason why Fischl has been regarded as one of the best characters since the game's release. 4-star wise, it's very tough to say she's one of the best nowadays. She's still strong, don't get me wrong, but for a 4-star character, she has withstood the test of time. She has on-field presence as well as off-field presence. Oz is just superb, especially if you get the constellations up. You know, Oz is also being able to accompany you through attacks. It just does so much for any team that not only needs additional damage, but electro application. Strong elemental skill, great character, and you know, there's very little to hate about this elemental skill. Very little. Now we're moving into the heavy hitters, the top 3 elemental skills. Now, you guys know this man has to be on here. His elemental skill is probably one of the best CCs you have in the game, as well as him using Viridescence, so allowing you to double that setup for your carries to come out and nuke enemies who are already grouped by his elemental skill. And the fact you have a quick press and a hold press just adds to the variety of of situations you need. Oh, you want to do a quick suck? Well, yeah, just quick press E when the enemies are close. Get the job done, apply iridescence, get off the field, low cooldown. But if you see that they're all spread out, and if you've got the range just right, you can suck them from the edge very close to the epicenter with a hold press E. Very great skill, very simple to use, great for exploration as well, and you can use it mid-air, which is just amazing. Okay, love Kazuha's elemental skill. So who's top in that? Well, Raiden Shogun. Now, if this was before patch 3.0, I wouldn't rate Raiden Shogun's elemental skill this highly. But nowadays, with Raiden Shogun's elemental skill synergizing with Dendro, oh my god, it's just so damn good. Such a great ability, and also it synergizes with more of her kit by buffing her damage as long as your teammates are using their burst skills, and especially if you get C1, it just charges up fastest if you have another Electro on the team. Oh, amazing ability. I love it so damn much nowadays. Maybe it's just my honeymoon phase talking. Some of you guys might have ranked her lower. Some of you guys might have rated her higher. With all that said, there is no way, right? There is no way you guys don't know who is number one. There's just no way. The number one elemental skill in the game currently has to be Nahida. This character's elemental skill is just superb, so well designed. This does so many things, synergizes with so many team comps, and we're not talking about burst skill. So it's a bit lacking when it comes to the elemental skill, but just letting you guys know, even without the burst skill, this character's elemental skill is just great for utility overworld. It's great for damage, it's great for synergies, it's great for application. The only thing it doesn't do is probably like give you $1,000 into your bank account every time you use it. There's a press version and there's a hold version, low cooldown, long duration, just like Albedo's. It has everything you want from Albedo's elemental skill, and it has great reaction synergies because she's Dendro. Case closed. If you guys don't have Nahida in your top 3 at the very least, there is something seriously wrong. And I mean, feel free to write whoever you want. I mean, if you want to write Aloy's elemental skill, hey, be my guest. All right. Now, at the end, I want to give you guys 2 honorable mentions because I just think we should. Xingqiu is the number 1. I think Xingqiu's elemental skill honestly is better than Yelan's, even though Yelan can arguably hit more people. But I think Xingqiu elemental skill generates like an insane amount of particles first and foremost, and with Sack Sword, it's just insane. And the fact that it gives you some sort of damage resistance and also somewhat heals you, people might have even put him on their top 10 because there's so much going on here. At the end of the day, I don't know. I just felt like it does a lot of things, but it doesn't do anything extremely around, and it's not like super important. Yeah, it is important to his rotation and doing some bits of damage, but I don't think it edges out Ito's Ushi and Wanderer's elemental skill. And for people wondering, I didn't include any like Hu Chao's elemental skill because come on guys, yeah, she does a lot of damage, same with Yoimiya. I just don't think it's transformative enough for them to be included, right? That's my argument. Now, finally, the last honorable mention. I mean, this character is quite literally built around their elemental skill. Without it, they kind of just fall apart. But unfortunately, due to the somewhat slow and clunky nature of the elemental skill, I didn't want to put it in here. But yeah, honorable mentions at the very least. This character's elemental skill, especially with the Dendro rolling around, very powerful, very consistent, and even SC0 is great to use nowadays. But a lot of people still hesitate to lean towards like pulling this character. If you have Fischl, why bother with Yaimiko? Unless you're like a Yaimiko stan or waifu or whatever you guys want to call that, then it could be justified. But if you have Fischl, you know, Yaimiko really isn't absolutely necessary. So that's why she's not on the list and Fischl is. Right, with all that said, thank you guys so much for watching. Please comment down below who are your top 10s, or at the very least your top 3. But if you have a little more time, top 5 will do as well. So until next time, we're trying to stay safe. Peace, bye.